Early frustrations I faced as a pickup artist in training. When I first started approaching women, I realized that if I was too forward or showed too much interest, it was very common for a woman to reject me. It seemed like saying, "I have a boyfriend," was every woman's automatic response when any guy showed any interest whatsoever. Well, I wasn't dumb. I saw those aloof guys getting women, so I decided that I would pretend I wasn't interested at all. I swung completely the other way and started to fake disinterest. After all, if I didn't show interest, I couldn't get rejected, right? Wrong. It was even worse than when I was straightforward about my intention. The girl would either sense that I was pretending and distrust me, or think that she had no chance at all and lose interest. So I started on my quest for techniques. Read some books, went online, memorized a few lines, and started using them in my interactions. Sometimes I would get great reactions, but other times I would fail miserably, even though I was saying the same things that sometimes worked. Got me thinking. And finally, I realized something profound. I began to see a pattern emerge. If I felt really good, I would do well no matter what I said, but if I felt so-so, I would get rejected. Although I was still pretty bad at the time, it was this realization that ultimately inspired me to spawn an entire movement of natural game pickup artists. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. My first encounter with the supernatural. About 10 years ago, I was out in a club and saw a man who was probably the best guy with women I've ever met. His name was Tony, and he could practically have any woman he wanted. To his credit, Tony was not very good looking at all. He wasn't a tall guy. He was actually a bit shorter than I am. But this guy could pull. Let me tell you. He can go into any club in New York City, walk up to the hottest women, sometimes leave with 2 or 3 of them. If anyone could tell me the secret to success with women, it was him. I got together all of my strength and confidence and approached this guy hoping he might share his secrets. I ended up sitting at the bar with him and I asked him what made him so good with women. He immediately turned the conversation around and asked me about what I did to attract women. Started explaining what I did back then. Don't remember exactly what I told him, but I remember it was pretty structured. His reaction was priceless. He told me, "If you have to think about all of that, you'll never be successful with women. Why make things hard? Pickup is easy." Now, being an analytical guy, I couldn't accept his explanation. It wasn't complicated enough. At the time, it made no sense to me. And although I didn't understand it at the time, now it makes perfect sense.